Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tatiana Show. Today is March 24th, 2016, and we are doing a special bonus episode. Not only do we have my usual cohort in crime, Josh Shigala from Vaultoro, the very trustworthy Bitcoin Gold Exchange, um, and also we have Stephanie Murphy from Let's Talk Bitcoin fame, a good friend of mine. We recently have done some really fun stuff together, and leading up to the show, normally it's kind of stiff back there. You've got some sort of technical issues and whatever. But today we had such a good bunch of laughs that we figured that this show will be a little bit less structured and we could just have conversations. And hopefully you guys will go along with it. It's Thursday. It's sunny outside. Springtime is like in full bloom here in beautiful New Jersey.
Yes, same here in Berlin.
Oh, very nice.
Wish
Stephanie,
I could say the same in New Hampshire. There's snow on the ground today, but it's been an unseasonably warm winter anyway.
Is it a nice winter, or for the most part, like, do you ski? Does the lack of snow bother you?
I'm one of those people who's kind of happy with whatever I got, so I'm totally cool with the winter, the way it's been. I've been enjoying it, but nice. I got on here like a half hour early because I know some of your guests probably, need to like figure out the technical stuff. It takes a little while to get that worked out. But today we were like the AV club. Like we were like those nerds that hang out in the high school basement, like doing all the video stuff. We had it all nailed down and figured out, and we just chatted for like a half hour before the show got on. And it was so great. And I was saying, before when we were setting this up, I was emailing back and forth with Richard, your assistant, who works with you on the show, and he sent me an email that said, "I need your assets," or something like that. And I was like, what? And then I got another email from him like a couple minutes later, and he said, "Oh, sorry, my email, I pressed send too fast. Looking forward to your assets." But he meant like my social media and my bio and all that stuff. So I gave him my assets.
I'm glad that you worked that out.
They're in good hands.
Well, yeah, it's easy to mix up. I hope you didn't send the wrong assets.
Hopefully not.
They're always the right assets with Stephanie.
Yeah. So anyway, I did send him a bio, but you know me, Tatiana, so you don't need to. I don't need an introduction. You could do it from memory if you wanted to.
I want you to do the introduction of yourself. Because generally when we start out the show, so maybe we'll stick with a little bit to format, because some of our viewers don't necessarily listen to LTB. They haven't met you before, but they may have seen you in the Bitcoin 101 series that we just did. And that was super cool, but you don't really talk so much about yourself there. So why don't you tell people a little bit about the history of the doctor?
Right on.
I'm your doctor. You're my doctor friend.
Well, first of all, if you're listening to this as a podcast on Liberty.me, you're going to hear my voice at the beginning of the show saying, "You're listening to a Liberty.me podcast. Liberty lives here," or something like that. I am a voice actor. I do a lot of podcast intros. I do a lot of commercials and video narrations, audiobooks. I've got dozens of titles out, some Bitcoin related, some not. And that's the way that most people know me now. But I wasn't always a voice actor. I actually quit a career in medical research to become a voice actor, to follow my passions, because I was doing podcasting as a hobby while I was working as a scientist, and I just found out that I was much happier doing the podcasts that I did for fun than going to work every day. So I listened to my heart, and which is going to be a theme in our episode. and I quit, and I became a voice actor, and I also was really interested in Bitcoin since about 2011. So I've been using Bitcoin now for, I guess, about 5 years. Has it been that long? Wow, I feel old now. But I got interested in Bitcoin way at the very beginning, and Bitcoin just like lit my fire because I love the permissionless aspects of it. I've always been a libertarian, someone who loves freedom, and so I just loved the ability to like use this cool internet money without asking anyone's permission, just by downloading a piece of software. So that's how I got started in Bitcoin. And once I transitioned my career away from science and I started doing voice acting and talk radio, I got involved with a podcast called Let's Talk Bitcoin. And I believe we're on the Let's Talk Bitcoin network. It's now a network, not just a podcast. And Let's Talk Bitcoin has been a show that I've been part of for the last 3 years. We're coming up on our 3-year anniversary just in a couple days here.
Wow.
So, are you guys going to do one of those? Are you guys going to do one of those best of kind of symposiums?
Oh, clip shows are work. I mean, you have to go back and like clip out all the stuff. Like, I have a blooper reel for Let's Talk Bitcoin. Let me just say, I have a blooper reel on my computer of stuff that never made it to the air because Adam wants to be so professional. He's very concerned with what people think. So I've got some bloopers on those guys that I could roll out at any time. You better be careful.
You know, April Fool's Day is coming up, and I was thinking, what good April Fool thing could there be? That'll be around your anniversary.
My partner Brian and I, Brian Sovereign is my boyfriend. He runs the podcast called Sovereign Tech, so he's also a fellow podcaster. We work together on lots of projects. He's interested in Bitcoin too and cryptocurrencies, and we started a show a couple years ago called Sex and Science Hour, which is a talk show about sex and science for an hour. The name is very descriptive, and it really caught on. A lot of people were listening to it, downloading it. We had a bunch of fans, but then we just kind of got busy and we stopped doing it, and like it wasn't the way the show started. It was like, you know, it started under some circumstances that didn't quite work out, so we stopped doing it for a while, but we're going to bring it back. And we were considering launching it on April 1st, but we didn't think people would believe us, so we're actually relaunching it on April 8th. So Sex and Science Hour is coming back. If you are a fan, definitely check that out. It'll be at sexandsciencehour.com.
Wow, I need to come and submit questions. Like, yeah. So how does the show function? What's the story?
Sex and Science Hour is just like a fun talk show. We'll do like relationship questions from listeners. We'll do like news articles and talk about them. And we try to keep it moving and keep it entertaining. I mean, it's not like a super serious intellectual show, but it's not a dumb show either. It's not just like, let's talk about sex. It's it's kind of like an in-between, a mixture of both. And the goal of it is to have fun. I stopped caring a long time ago. You know, I'm a freedom lover, right? Okay, but I stopped caring a long time ago about getting people to agree with me, so whatever. Like, my goal is just to do a show and have fun with my boyfriend, and hopefully people will listen and enjoy it, and I think they do.
That's great. That's great. When you first started, I mean, I remember Let's Talk Bitcoin was kind of like the first serious show that had everything. It had like Adam's really good straight talking way of explaining things. Then we had you giving that down to earth human aspect to, you know, user aspect with that science edge, and then of course Andreas giving that technical aspect. So it was a really good mix. And before that there was only really like Bruce Wagner's show, which then disappeared. And there, you know, Let's Talk Bitcoin was really a big stepping stone in sort of Bitcoin 2.0 media, you know, and really the amount of energy that you guys put in, and that, you know, to keep on going. You know, most podcasts, they end up losing steam.
Oh yeah, I know about the pod fade. It's hit me a couple of times, and yeah, the pod fade. It's when they fade out. You know, podcasters just stop publishing stuff. You know, that's pod fading. And Let's Talk Bitcoin, to its credit, Adam's done a really good job with keeping consistent, and that is all him. Like, pretty much, I've just shown up and talked. Andreas just shows up and talks. Adam handles all the rest, and other people, good people who work with him, handle all the rest, all the publishing, and that model works like so well for me, because I don't really like doing all the publishing and stuff, but I do love to show up and talk. So
yeah, that's great. That's great.
Thanks for enjoying it, Josh. I really appreciate that. You've been on Let's Talk Bitcoin a couple times, and we just had a giant love fest. Not only because I love your voice, and I can tell because I know a good voice when I hear one.
Well, thank you.
and I love your mysterious German and sort of Australian accent. It's it's like a hybrid animal of some sort, and it's really cool.
I'm an earthling.
You're an earthling. Good to know.
Yeah.
You do have a bionic.
Yeah, no borders.
secret bionic body part. Yeah, no borders. That's right. But anyway, where was I going with that? You've been on Let's Talk Bitcoin, and thank you for appreciating it and enjoying it. It's been a really fun project, and it's always cool when something endures for many years. You know, like when something lasts, like whether it's a friendship or whether it's a website or a business or whether it's a I don't know, just maybe like a name that you use, like a handle that you use on forums, a nickname, or whatever. It's cool to see something last through time and maybe how it changes over time, but there's something that's still consistent there.
Yeah, and like with Adam and his tokens, I mean the guy's got seemingly infinite energy. It's amazing.
Tatiana, are we boring you with our love fest here? Last topic. Did I say why I was a doctor?
No, but I just started thinking about, yes, I was thinking about something else. I did train off. I was thinking about how great Adam is to work with on tokens and in general. I enjoy
nice.
Well,
that's Adam B. Levine. And you know, funny story about Adam.
Maroon 5.
When we first met, it was just so funny because every time he would introduce himself, he'd be like, "I'm Adam B. Levine." B. Levine. Like he had to differentiate himself.
I mean, that's kind of a hard thing because people are like all excited it's going to be Maroon 5. Like girls are anyway because he's like a hard run. They're like, Adam's like cool, you know, but he's not like Adam Levine. They're like, what the hell happened?
Well, whenever I hear people saying their middle name, I always think they're like a president's assassin or something. It seems like all assassins get their middle name spread out all over the news. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I think everybody's noticed that. That's like it's an identified shared characteristic between president shooters.
It definitely gives you an air of something, authority or better love me than fear me. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Stephanie, do you have a middle initial?
I do. Yeah.
Are you allowed to tell me?
I can tell you. I just don't use it in my public stuff. I mean, I think there's like a basketball player named Stephanie Murphy, and it's actually a fairly common name. There's a lot of Stephanie Murphys. Like if you search on, people have trouble searching for me on Skype because if you search Stephanie Murphy, there's like a billion of them, especially even in New Hampshire where I live. So you can't even narrow it down by the state. But so then I use my middle initial, but I don't really rely on it too much because I just like to make it simple. My voice website's not even my name. Like, I have StephanieMurphyVoice.com, so people, if they search for Stephanie Murphy Voice, they can find me. But the URL that I always give out is smvoice.info because it's easy to say on the radio and on a podcast, and it's memorable. smvoice.info, Stephanie Murphy, my initials. Although some people think it's like S&M, like a BDSM voice or something. Like.
Well, you are in New Hampshire, and we know what kind of craziness goes on up there.
What kind of craziness?
Well, when I think of deviancy, I think of the Pork Fest, the tent where everybody, like the orgy tent, but the orgy tent doesn't seem to be filled with people that I'd be like, oh man, I can't wait to get into an orgy with these folks.
That's always the problem at orgies is, just not everybody is always, if you have some standards, if you're picky, it's
like
hard to fit in.
Eyes Wide Shut would be a good orgy. Like those people were really hot. So that one seems acceptable.
Somehow I don't think you're going to get Eyes Wide Shut at Pork Fest.
I don't know why you have to be so limited. I thought you were freedom-oriented.
Well, I am not into BDSM. I tried it a couple times.
Kids are.
I know. Like it seems it seems like it should be something that if you're like a little bit like outside of the box, if you're like, okay, I'm questioning social norms, then maybe you should be into BDSM, right? But I just, it's not my thing. I think like for people who are really into it, it's like a part of who they are. Like it's really ingrained deeply, and that's just, I don't know. I just like vanilla sex. What can I say? I'm just gonna accept myself how I am.
I think that the idea of actually getting physically hurt seems like very, very bad in practice. I don't think it seems like a good time. Like a little like, ooh, okay, that's one thing. But beyond that, it just seems very painful. That being said,
now like people with the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing, the movie that came out, everybody thinks they're like, they know what BDSM, they think that's BDSM, like a little bit of like, handcuffs and spanking, but it's way more than that. You know, some people take it to like it's like a huge part of their lifestyle, right?
Mhm.
But it's gone mainstream. It, like everything, it's been ruined by going mainstream.
It's
Like
trash
anything.
out there. Well,
such
I
a
think. Well, I was going to say, Josh, you must have an opinion on this. I have visited Josh in Berlin before, and even though we didn't go, they have like these Kit Kat clubs, and then also I went past this window in like the gay area, and they had really, really hardcore like S&M costumes. I was like, whoa, these guys need to slow down. But I was like, all right, great. I took a picture of it. It was exciting. But Josh, what are your thoughts on the BDSM, and why is that so prevalent in Germany? Like, why are they so into that?
Oh my God!
That's
How
a
am I?
Good question. I wonder that myself.
How am I instantly the expert here? I'm
You're
not
the
sure.
representative.
I represent.
You're the German BDSM ambassador.
Yeah.
Go to the club and take your camera and
Suddenly.
report for the Tatiana show.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, Germany, they've gone through a lot of hardship, and I guess that's ingrained. I mean, because I always wonder where these people get this this need from to be controlled or to have control. And I guess that's prevalent in certain countries that have had hardship, maybe more than others. I'm not sure, but I think when I think about something like the 50 Shades of Grey movie, people just sort of fall in love with this mysterious character who's filthy rich. But I sort of, after watching the film, I was thinking, what if that guy was really poor and stalking this woman and wanted to beat this, woman? Like, it would be totally different. All of a sudden, the whole film would be like, oh, if he didn't have his own private helicopter, it would be like, oh, who's this creep following me, wanting to beat me and pay me for. Yeah.
I think you guys are ruining the end of this movie for me. Now I need to see it. I think just like as a cultural reference point, like Showgirls. Remember when Jessie from Saved by the Bell was in Showgirls, and that was like,
oh God,
all the things that you needed to see. It had like, it was referenced a lot, I guess.
I totally remember that. Yes.
I thought that she was the least hot of the Saved by the Bell girls, but I think that was her attempt to be like, I'm a sex symbol now, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Back off,
well,
Lisa.
Who did you think was the hottest?
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah, she was pretty hot.
I think that there was a pretty other, like, yeah.
Lisa with Lark Voorhees was hot too.
Yeah,
she still looks good. She's like, well, she's got to be, I guess, in her 40s or 50s now, but she still looks good.
So hot right now. So hot right now.
Anyway, I think that we need to break away from BDSM and Saved by the Bell. Well, let's actually going back to BDSM. My theory with Germany maybe is because they're also very pressury on people to be really perfect. I mean, German precision, German craftsmanship, German cleaning. They're not messing around with any of those activities. So, maybe that, like, when they're a child, you have to behave, you have to do well. It manifests itself in their desires as adults sexually.
Well, definitely, I read a really interesting book years ago about because Berlin was a really forward-thinking country before the rise of the Nazis or the National Socialists, and this book talked about how children 2 generations before, it was very normal to beat the hell out of them, that they should be seen and not heard, and that that's how you treat a child. You just beat them. And
that was pretty normal in a lot of parts of the world, though, right?
It was, but especially Prussia.
People do weird stuff around.
You know what? I would like to. I don't even want to try to psychologize people who like BDSM, because I've learned that I get into trouble if I try to do that with people who are kinky. I'm just going to say, I don't get, for whatever reason they like it, good for them, right? That's their issue to work out, whether it's healthy for them, whether it's not working for them.
They could do it all day long.
It's their thing. I don't even really care to speculate why. It's just that, I don't want people to try to speculate about, well, why am I bisexual, or why is someone heterosexual? Why is someone gay? It's just, that's your thing, whatever, leave them alone. You don't have to participate in it if you don't want to.
Exactly. If it doesn't hurt anyone else.
If you're a participant in the world, I mean, as long as you're not being judgmental about your thought process, you can't help but wonder what somebody's thinking. Like people who are into like getting pooped on, like that to me is like,
Well,
why would you want to do that?
Oh my
You
God.
know, but
That
you're right.
escalated quickly.
I hope.
I I wonder. Yes, I wonder what they're thinking, but I try not to spend too much time wondering what they're thinking.
Fine. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin instead. Instead of the Schatzen or whatever it's called.
Oh God.
Hey,
How do you say that in German, Josh?
What? What's
When
that?
someone likes to get pooped on, what is the term for that in German?
Oh my God! I've gone to the next level now. Being ambassador
Trying to
for
go
like the poop. Kind of Braunspaß or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Brown Spaß, it sounds like what it means. Anyway, seriously, Bitcoin and the price. No, seriously.
I just can't get my mind off of that.
Oh my God!
This is really turning unprofessional. I'm glad I didn't say that I have a PhD before this. Probably giving it a bad name, but I did. I am a scientist.
Let's focus. Enough of this. I hope that the people at home have found this entertaining. But really, this is the Let's Talk Bitcoin network, and we need to talk about Bitcoins.
Do
Stephanie.
we though? I think we're. All right, let's talk about Bitcoins. Let's
Well,
talk
no,
Bitcoin.
we don't need to talk about Bitcoin, so we should probably stop talking about professional pooping
Right.
or proclivities. Professional pooping proclivities.
Right.
Stephanie,
So
we
we
did
could-
a
Yes,
Bitcoin
go.
101
I know what you're going to
episode.
say. Go for it.
I'm going to try and bring it back to Bitcoin. So when I first started participating in Bitcoin, right, I didn't understand a lot of things, and I always found that it's really hard to explain. It's really hard to find materials where you're not made to feel like an idiot. And since Stephanie is really, really knowledgeable, she's got this Bitcoin 101 talk that she did. Josh, were you in Vegas?
No.
For some reason, I thought you were. Anyway, she was in Vegas a few months ago, the Bitcoin Investor
Yeah.
Conference, and she did this one-on-one talk, which is actually on my website, tatianarose.com, and you can get it on smvoice.info. But anyway, she did this one-on-one thing, and so we decided to do a series of short videos. And you know what? I bet you we could play one of them right now.
Ooh.
Should we do that?
Oh.
I learned the other day that you could do this. In all the time of doing the show, I never realized that I could share the screen. So
Wow, how meta. Video within a video.
yeah, we're just gonna play it for like a
Yeah,
split
who
second.
Yeah, do it. I think our videos came out so good, Tatiana. I'm proud of them. I want to blast them all over the place.
Yeah, I thought that they were
I
really
think they're
fun.
really important. I think they're really important too because you know, sometimes us people that have been around in Bitcoin for so long, we really understand it so well that it seems so passé to even talk about the simple first steps that people that that have never heard of a digital currency or a digital asset or anything else is where do I start? What do I do? And so having people really down-to-earth people talking about this stuff is really, really, really important, and it's a great asset to be able to share around.
Yeah, we had a good time with it. So I'm gonna try and do this. The people at home that are listening to a podcast are gonna be like annoyed.
Are we going to do like an MST3K thing where we like
I don't
do
know.
a
I'm not
commentary
gonna try.
track over it?
No,
Okay, I'll just shut up.
I don't want to try because I'm afraid that I'll mess it up and then it'll suck for the people at home. But needless to say, everybody check out the Bitcoin 101. These are the topics that we cover. Introduction, so you know what we're talking about. What is Bitcoin? How to get a Bitcoin wallet? How do I get Bitcoin? How do I send and receive Bitcoin? Basic security and privacy. Why is Bitcoin cool and revolutionary? And what are artist coins? So I think I don't know. I like the why is Bitcoin cool and revolutionary? Maybe we could talk about that.
Yeah, I like all of those, and definitely go check out the series and share it with your friends who are bit curious. I love that
Oh,
phrase.
that's a good one. I like that.
Share it with the big curious friends because like I think when we first found out about Bitcoin, Tatiana and I, it was pretty early in the game, and there wasn't a lot of like straightforward, just non-technical, non-geeky explanations for what Bitcoin is and how do you like use it every day, and I really didn't quite get Bitcoin, I would say, until I did my first Bitcoin transaction. After that, it clicked, right? It was like I installed the Bitcoin Core software, which was like the only software that there was at the time. And then somebody sent me, actually I think it might have been Roger Ver, Bitcoin Jesus himself, who blessed me from the heavens with half a Bitcoin as a tip to my podcast that I was doing at the time.
Amazing.
And I got it, and it like a little notification popped up that said, "You got some Bitcoin." And well, it said that in text form. It didn't like say it with a voice. But anyway, I got some Bitcoin, and then I sent somebody else a tip, and I was like, "Wow, that's how it works. You just put in the person's address you want to send it to, and you send it, and it goes over the internet on the peer-to-peer network." I get it. So, you know, people can have that experience, but it's also, I think it also would have been great if someone just explained it to me in a really like short, simple, easy to understand way, and then I could do that. Then it would have been like, oh yeah, okay, I'm a user for life. That was great. I had a good experience being introduced to this new technology that is probably going to be part of all of our lives for many years to come.
Do you think that there's been anybody that's made a Bitcoin for life tattoo? I like that. I feel like that would make a good tattoo, like Thug for Life, or Thug Life, and it'll be
life.
Bitcoin. Not just Bitcoin for life, or.
I bet there have been people. I haven't seen their I mean, you can email tattoo photos to Tatiana at CryptoMediaHub.
Show me your Bitcoin. Yeah, show me your Bitcoin tattoos. Send them in for the show.
Definitely.
We'll figure out how to screen share by next time. We could show people your Bitcoin tattoos, everybody. Do you guys have any tattoos?
For research purposes only. I do not have any tattoos. I like I said, I'm happy with what I got. I like the skin I got. I'm going to keep it that way as long as I can. What about you guys?
I have a tattoo, but I would probably, I think that removing a tattoo leaves your skin all gross and scabby and disgusting anyway, so I would just leave it there because it's not anything that bad. But I'm with you. I feel like regular old skin is good enough. God made skin good.
You know, I spent the first 15 years of my professional life being a designer and special effects guy, and every time, like, you know, I'd do something, I'd fall in love with an image, and then, you know, 3 months later, I'd be like, oh, that's looking old now. And then I think, if I ever had a tattoo, I would just be like, because it's always evolving, my style and stuff. So,
you'd be wanting to change your tattoo over time?
Yeah, or something, I don't know. So I've always been afraid of tattoos, of that lock-in value. But people say, well, it's something to remind you of a certain point in time of your life. So I see that point as well.
Yeah. Hey, well, you can. There's lots of things that could remind you of certain points in time, right?
Like a journal.
Yeah, a journal, blog posts, recordings. Yeah. Maybe even scars or things like that. I mean, it's true. Nothing is, you know, we'll get all philosophical and zen here. Like, nothing is permanent, right? Like, our skin changes, our bodies change as time goes on. We're not going to be young forever.
I don't like that, by the way.
You might
like
lose
to put
the private key to the public key that you've tattooed, you know.
Do you guys know about the Lifeboat Foundation? Have you been approached by the Lifeboat Foundation?
Yeah, I think I'm a member of it, actually.
Oh, good. So we can live. So I don't really understand what it is, but I know that I'm like a member. I'm on a couple boards. I'm like, I don't know who's on this board.
Well, the Lifeboat Foundation is like it's kind of like a prepper thing for the Earth. Like, that's the best way I can describe it succinctly. It's like they are trying to think preemptively about problems that could end the world and then, like, address them proactively.
I'm psyched to be a part of that because that's good. That means that we'll be the first ones on the ark. Is that
kind of like the seed bank?
Gosh, you better be nice to us.
I don't know. It's maybe like something like a seed bank could be a part of it, but I think they're interested in everything, like space travel,
currency, like
asteroids, different currencies, and they've got like little different divisions for each kind of problem. Like they've got some environmental issues that they're interested in. They've got like economic issues, like cryptocurrency is a big thing for them. So Lifeboat Foundation's cool. I've also been interested in the human life extension movement, so I've been following fightaging.org and Methuselah Foundation and SENS Foundation. SENS is like strategies for engineered negligible senescence, which basically means like how can we make humans live forever, get rid of aging, like cure aging. And
let's do that.
Let's do that, yeah. And there's some people who actually say, who know what they're talking about, who are really smart, who say that if you can make it to 60 years old by the year, like by a few years from now, I'm butchering this, but basically people who are our age have a decent shot of being able to reach longevity escape velocity, which means that when we get old and sick, there'll be cures that will be able to like maybe rejuvenate us or cure the things that are making us sick.
I'm so psyched.
And then it'll extend our life a little more until there's more cures and more rejuvenating technologies. And then eventually we'll just be able to live forever because new technologies will keep being alive while new technologies come out that are rejuvenating. I really hope that's true because I do not want to die ever.
So does that mean,
sign me up.
Does that mean...
I would like that, please.
Sorry, Tatiana.
No, I've got nothing to say other than yes.
Does that mean we're going to have real-life zombies? Does that mean we're going to have like people... You know, there are a lot of people that sort of act like zombies. If they live forever, they will truly be zombies.
Why do you have to look at the negative side of things, Josh? Pipe down. We're trying to be beautiful for all eternity.
That's
It's yin yang, man. It's yin yang. You got to think of both. You know.
Then I'll be surrounded by fools.
To be beautiful and young for all of eternity. That's what everybody wants, the fountain of youth. I mean, but people have a lot of resistance to it, actually. Like, a lot of these researchers, like scientific researchers, they're like, well, no, we can't ever think about living forever. People have to die. The Earth's going to get overpopulated and things like that. And, I mean, I just don't think so. If you love your life and if you're happy, why would you not want to live forever? Why would you not want to get rid of all these diseases and aging, which causes so much suffering in human existence in humanity?
Do you think though that that's sort of saying that okay, we've reached perfection in evolution and that we're going because it seems like we would sort of stand still on an evolutionary like organic front. I mean, I guess we're still
but are we evolving now?
Cyborg.
We've got like artificial heart valves, we've got glasses, we've got medical technologies that save people who wouldn't make it in a Paleolithic society with no medical care. I mean, you could argue that evolution has slowed down already, and I think maybe it'll continue in other ways. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little bit skeptical of like people who want to like, the potential for people who want to like genetically engineer humans. What could go wrong there, right? I'm a little scared of that. Like, people who want to like implant cameras in people and like implant chips and like put technology, like I don't want to turn into a Borg, okay? If that's the cost of living forever, no thanks. But at the same time, I would like more medical technologies just to get rid of all the suffering that people experience because of aging. Aging sucks. Why would you not want to get rid of it?
I see old people and I get really, really afraid. And I think to myself, they used to think like me. They used to be young too. Like it's an evil monster lurking. I see why women get bitter when they get older because all of a sudden everything's, I mean, I am not facing the deficits of aging, I swear, but I'm just saying, you start looking around, you're like, oh, like the old ladies, like they didn't think that they were going to end up being those whole hunched over old ladies. I have bad posture. I need to work on that because in case the other thing doesn't come through, I'm going to be, I don't know, I think that's scary. Let's solve that problem.
But don't you think, it kind of, society will push us towards more cyborgy things because we have to compete with AI. And to compete, we basically plug ourselves in to be able to compete on that level because
as long as it's not attached. As long as it's not attached to me, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm okay with carrying around a smartphone or a device, but the minute it's implanted into my body, that's kind of where I draw the line. You know what I mean? As long as I can remove it and not have it be part of me. Because your body it's really important. Like, there's this whole philosophical question of like, what if you just took your head and you separated it from your body and you had your brain in a jar? Would you be the same person? And I don't think you would, because part of your humanity, part of your experience is like what your experience is of living in your own body. How does the rest of your body feel outside of your head? It's not just the thoughts that come from your brain, it's like the hormones that come from your body and like the feelings that you feel in other parts of your body and the pain that you feel in other parts of your body. So I think we need to keep our integrity as like human beings. And this is getting like way too off in the I thought we were supposed to talk about Bitcoin.
I think that this is cool. Have you guys ever tried virtual reality. So I went and I thought that Oculus Rift would be like really lame. I had no interest whatsoever. But I went over to Adam's and he had one of the very first prototypes. You could definitely have a relationship if you could just based on that. I mean, it's pretty realistic. I was shocked, and I was looking at a cartoon thing, and I thought that I was in a cartoon world. I mean, it's really intense.
No,
Yeah.
it's quite. Sorry, I just think that one really interesting. Sorry, there's always this lag with it, but I really find that we have this interesting debacle where drugs and things are illegal because you're escaping using your own mind plus chemicals. But for some reason, virtual reality, it will be the next drug. It is going to cause huge amount of addiction because it's the ultimate escapism, where you can just disappear into the most glorious, amazing places ever, and live in that space. And I think it'll be interesting to see the escapism or the what will happen with people. How much people will it will be detrimental, or will it be amazing? I mean, it'll be both, obviously, but yeah, I find that kind of interesting.
Would that keep the idiots occupied? I mean, at least they wouldn't be going around causing problems. You know what I mean? What?
Might keep the nerds occupied first.
Well, yeah, that might not even be a good thing because the nerds are kind of ruling the world, as we can see with Bitcoin and tech stuff. I don't know. Now, this whole world still seems so foreign to me because I came from music, but I was in music studios and then there were the tech people there, so I'm always kind of tangentially attached to the tech people. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. All I know is that I feel like by being a member of that Lifeboat Foundation, that if there was a lifeboat of some sort or some sort of progress beyond some sort of apocalyptic event, I'm glad that I'm linked in with them because at least I've got a team.
Would you like to get off this planet?
No, I'm good. But I mean, I guess I would go if there's.
I wasn't offering. I mean, I've no way. I don't have a spaceship waiting outside.
What kind of arrangement is this? What kind of a person are you? Just invite somebody to another planet? You don't even follow through.
I've thought about that question because it might be possible in our lifetime. Like, would I want to go if they colonize Mars or something, or if they want even like Venus, perhaps, or the Moon? I don't know. Would I want to go? And I'm thinking like, humans are pretty well adapted for living on Earth. I would say. There might be a lot of challenges living in outer space, but then again, as a liberty-loving person, you look around this planet and there's nowhere you can go to really be left alone. Like there's doesn't seem like there's a lot of places you can go to like really live free with nobody breathing down your neck and nobody harassing you and bothering you. And I mean, yeah, some people go expatriate and they go and live in wherever, South America or Europe or I don't know. There's parts of the world, yeah, sure, that are more free than others, but like if you really wanted to be alone, if you really wanted to be like a pioneer in an unexplored area, there's really not many places left that you can go on Earth. So you got to think about space. So it's an interesting question. I don't know. I don't want to be the first one to go.
I can just imagine you floating around in space in your suit going, woohoo, I'm free!
Finally!
I'm free!
I just feel like the packing for space would be even worse. When I travel a lot, I have a really, really heavy suitcase, and anybody who's seen me in action knows how much of a problem this is. I can only imagine going to space. I'd be like, but I don't have the right space shoes, and this helmet doesn't go with the suit. I mean, give me a break. That seems really hard.
Yeah, that's going to be about 5 million Bitcoins to check your guitar, ma'am. Please make payment at the front desk.
It was 40 million last week. What the hell is going on with this inflation? You bastard.
Yeah. How much carry-on baggage and how much emotional baggage are you allowed to take? I'm not sure.
I think you leave that at the door. When you leave, it would be. I mean, I would want to go on a trip maybe if it was a really safe rocket around the world, sort of like you go around Manhattan, but instead of around the world. That would be cool.
Oh, that's all coming. That's going quick. That'll be soon. We've got a sponsor.
Oh, indeed we
do.
Yay,
sponsors!
We have a couple of things. Before I tell you guys about our sponsor, I think it was really nice. I've been talking with this guy, Doug. Oh, fine, I'll start with that then. I've been talking with this guy, Doug, from Westside Bitcoins, and he is a man of many talents. He created an app, and I'm going to tell you guys about it. I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up, but just to tell you guys, he's a local Phoenix area trader, and he reached out. He's been a long-time listener of the show, and he built this app, and it's a free app on the Google Play Store, and basically I will read you what it says. Today's show is sponsored by the Bitcoin Trade Calculator Android app by westsidebitcoins.com. Bitcoin Trade Calculator for Android is a simple, intuitive app for Bitcoin traders to calculate trades based on a given markup, percentage, or fee. With the popularity of local Bitcoins, regional Bitcoin meetups, and other local trading activity, Bitcoin Trade Calculator is the essential field tool for both buyers and sellers alike. Not only is it the first of its kind, but since its launch, it has expanded from one currency to now 6, including the US dollar, the euro, Chinese yuan, British pound, Australian dollar, and Japanese yen, along with multiple exchange prices to choose from for each currency. The app was developed by Doug Hodges of westsidebitcoins.com, a local Phoenix area trader who says the following. As a local and online trader myself, I needed this ability and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I built it myself with traders in mind. The app is available free in the Google Play Store, or find the web version of the calculator at westsidebitcoins.com/calculator. If you'd like to support the developer, look for his ads on localbitcoins.com as username westsidebitcoins, or if you're in the Phoenix area, visit westsidebitcoins.com for contact info. So everybody, talk to Doug. I think that sounds pretty useful. I don't really buy and trade Bitcoins locally. I guess I'm just lazy. I don't want to leave the house. But what about you guys? Josh, you downloaded the app, right? Because you have an Android.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, you know, a lot of people that go to meetups and stuff or want to trade, you know, on the go, it's really good because you can type in how much you want to trade in dollars, and then your markup and what exchange you want to use as the price, and what currency, and then it just tells you how many Bitcoins you need to send. So it's something really basic. But it's needed. I mean, I've looked for this sort of tool before and it wasn't available. So that's really good, instead of, you know, sitting there calculating and both parties have to sort of agree. And it's nice to just go, well, here it is. Here's the exchange rate. So yeah, do yourself a favor, folks.
Yeah, that's super cool. It does seem useful, and necessity is the mother of invention, right? Like, this person, Doug, needed this tool, so he built it himself, and I love that attitude. You know,
isn't that great? I think that's the beautiful thing about
Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin thing, right? Everybody in Bitcoin's like birthing creativity. Just like when the Ron Paul movement, when I joined in 2012, when everybody was like, I know how to do this, and I know how to do this, and then let's build a world of freedom. And then everybody found out about the elections, and it went, boo! But
let's put a blimp in the air. How cool was that blimp back then? That was awesome.
I didn't see the blimp.
Yeah,
it does sound like
I remember the blimp. Wow, good memory, Josh. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I was following that blimp. I was flying around like in Australia, and like I'd refresh. Where's the blimp? I was so excited about Ron Paul, and then the elections. Just saw how corrupt.
Yeah, I mean, how did that all work out? Like, that was a big.
I feel like we're flirting with the political topics. Are we going to talk about the American elections, or I think we could spare ourselves that torture?
It would be a pretty short conversation for me, because I'm not participating in any way.
Me neither. I feel the same way. I don't like that people automatically think that I'm voting for somebody. Like, do you like Bernie Sanders yet? I'm like, no. They're like, do you like Donald Trump? And I'm like, no, I don't like any of this. This is so silly. Like, get me out of here.
Do you?
Ron Paul was the last
like you want to ask them back, do you?
Ron Paul was the last real hurrah for me. There was another announcement that I needed to make, which was something that Lynn Ulbricht told me about, as you guys know, and are also friends and supporters of Ross Ulbricht, our friend who is in jail for 2 life sentences plus 40 years plus, I think, $183 million fine for creating a website. Never innovate, guys. You can just watch it and stay and work for the man. Anyway, so they're doing a march. His birthday is over the weekend. And they're doing a march. I'm looking to see if I could find this. Sponsors link. No, that's not it. It's in San Francisco, in front of the San Francisco Fed on the 28th, which is Monday.
In front of the San Francisco. Okay, so what's the point of having it in San Francisco, where he's actually in New York, right?
Yeah, but he got arrested in San Francisco, so I
Oh.
guess that's
Mhm.
why.
Okay.
But apparently they're expecting a decent amount of people. I would definitely go. You know, I obviously am friends with family, and we're always trying to think of different ways to kind of keep engaging people so people don't forget. And I think that a rally like this could be cool. So I wish I could be there. The
Mm.
information is help free Ross Ulbricht peaceful demonstration. Of course, it's important peaceful in front of the San
Yeah.
Francisco Federal Reserve Bank, 101 Market Street in San Francisco, March 28th, which is Monday, at 6 p.m. So please bring a free Ross sign and contact Stand Up for Ross at protonmail.com. And also, if people want to see what's going on with Ross, they just recently did the page over the freeross.org page, and they're still doing the art contest where Ross did something called The Trial I Saw, and he drew a picture of what the trial was like from his perspective. And I was just in prison visiting him a couple weeks ago, and I asked him, I'm like, what's up with everybody wearing the masks? And he said that, that everybody just kind of had their role to play.
Mm.
And it seems unfortunate that he can't, communicate with people. But Bitcoin.com is doing this thing since his birthday is on Saturday that they're going to be having people send in birthday cards or send letters. They've been having a series where people write a letter to him and stuff. So, even if people don't have money, obviously money is really important. I mean, the family, it's not a rich family or something. But
Yeah,
also,
they've been fundraising. They need. I mean, legal defense campaigns are not cheap. That's for
This has
sure.
been, I won't even repeat. Let's just say just the appeal paperwork that they just filed, which is why they're doing that contest. The people need to be paid for that. So that alone was like $13,000 just to file
Oh
Oh,
man.
papers. I mean,
wow.
how is that
Wow.
possible? And think about it. Unless they're filthy, filthy, I'm talking multimillionaires, they can't possibly afford this. So, if people can't, if point is if they can't donate, they could at least write him. They could tell people about it. And I've been trying to figure out a way that people could kind of get more involved, like on a different level than just asking people for money. And luckily the family's really creative, and I don't know. That was it. I just wanted to give a shameless plug for my
Yeah.
friends
Thanks
supporting
for doing
Ross.
that. I was curious how the picture was going. Has the whole picture been revealed yet?
No, it hasn't. Like a lot of it has. So I think that that's why. But Roberts and Roberts, Tim, who we always see up at PorkFest, he has Roberts and Roberts, which is like a golden brokerage, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, he is he donated like these little gold bars. So what people do is they look at this picture. It's art.freeross.org, and they donate, anywhere from $1 to $50 or more, and they're basically trying to get rid of all those little squares so you can't see them anymore, and you can only reveal the picture. It's actually quite good.
Yeah.
When I heard about it, I was a little bit worried. Why? What if his picture is not good? But Ross is a very, very talented artist, so I think
Mm.
that, if you think about how art is supposed to influence politics and people's culture and things like that, this is a really innovative use of technology
How do people
to
see
tell a
it?
story. They have to donate money, and they could win a bar of gold if they do. So not only, and also they could post a message. So what Ross's mom is sending to him is the messages that people write, like, "Hey, get well soon," whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
get well soon. That's probably not what they're saying.
Get out soon.
Yeah,
Get out
get
some
out
Get
of
free
there.
soon.
Yeah, get free soon. And it's his birthday over the weekend, and it's like $1 or $2, and I think it should be rewarded for like effort alone. I think it's really awesome.
Mm.
So
And this
I'm
sort of
not.
competition is great for Bitcoin. I mean, to be able to send, $1 or $50 or $100, just like that, and see it appear and see it change, it's great. And what's the website people go to
Um,
partake?
well, their regular website is freeross.org, but this is art.freeross.org. But you can also click on it from the main page. But if you want to just be easier, um, yeah, I'm gonna be seeing Lynn. I'm going to Austin next week
Cool.
to speak in the San Antonio Libertarian State Party Convention in San Antonio. So Lynn is going to be speaking. Jeffrey Tucker is going to be there from Liberty.me, one of our people. Bob Murphy. So, by the way, I know he's your
fun.
brother, your husband. I'm sure.
No, he's neither my brother, husband, cousin, nothing. No, we are not related. Murphy's just a common freaking name. Everybody assumes we're related, by the way.
I just wanted to tease you a little bit. I knew that you weren't related.
Well, people, I just wanted to get it clear because it's very often confused. Thank you.
We have there's a lot of really cool people coming to that conference, but Bob is one of them, and he and I, we just did an economics 101. So you know how we did Bitcoin 101. When I think about fighting with people in terms of politics, you know, somebody's a liberal or they're like conservative, and I'm just like, but the best side and like the best way is liberty, because you could both coexist.
Yay!
Yeah, so I think that a lack
Definitely.
of understanding of how economics works is a way that people don't necessarily see eye to eye. I mean, both sides doesn't want to have poor people, right? Nobody wants to see suffering, but they just don't understand how to get there. So me and Bob, we made a economics 101 on my YouTube, which is Forevermore Tatiana. People can catch up with that and other information there or at TatianaMrose.com.
Cool.
I want to see that.
I didn't know you were working
things.
on that, Tatiana.
Oh,
Wow.
no. It's a really fun video. Me and Bob, we did it when he was here back in November. And Josh Kane, this guy I know from NYU, he helped me edit it and film it and stuff. So, yeah,
Awesome.
I think, I don't know if we could have broken it down because I think 30 minutes is a little bit long, but whatevs.
Well,
what have you been up to?
Economics is a kind of a complicated topic, so
Yeah.
I think it's okay if you take 30 minutes on that, you know,
Well, yeah.
to break it down.
Well, what was funny was that I got my LASIK surgery a couple of weeks after that, and so before you get LASIK, you have to wear glasses, right? You can't just you can't wear contact lenses. So in the video, I'm wearing my glasses. It probably looks to people, because people don't normally see me with glasses, that I'm just trying to look smart for the video. You know, with my
No, I swear it was the LASIK. I had an excuse.
But yeah, I actually really liked LASIK, so I'm a fan. But Steph, what
Cool.
what else are you up to right now?
Oh gosh, well I'm
You
doing
have the new
a lot.
show.
Yeah,
What?
I'm doing a lot of Sex and Science Hour is coming back. That's going to be April 8th, so in a couple of weeks, mark your calendars.
Where?
sexandsciencehour.com.
Oh,
So-
but is it syndicated anywhere?
It's probably going to be on the Let's Talk Bitcoin network, but the thing is, we got to work that out with Adam because, the inside scoop is he basically said, okay, if it's you can be on the network, but the show is not going to be all about Bitcoin, and your show's not all about Bitcoin either.
No, I think
So
that
that's
people.
okay.
I want people to not have to only, because Bitcoin people have other interests other than Bitcoin,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that are also common.
Totally. So we're going to bring some variety to it. So yeah, it should be on the Let's Talk Bitcoin network, but you can always follow us at sexandsciencehour.com. Go have a pre-show party, listen to all the old episodes. That's where they're at. So there's that. A couple people have actually told me that they were doing that, which I thought was really cool.
I gotta watch a couple of those. Is it video or is it just audio?
It's not video. It's audio only. We were toying with doing video. I mean, audio I think
No.
is what we do best.
You're gonna
Video
have
is
to
a lot
put-
more work.
You're gonna have to put on makeup. You're gonna have to brush your hair. I mean, no, all of these
I know.
are very preclusive to.
Normally, we like
consistency.
to record with no pants on, so I don't know how that's going to go. But that's one thing I'm working on lately. But there's so much else. I mean, so I'm a voice actor. I do all kinds of stuff. And one project that I've been working on lately that's Bitcoin related actually is an audiobook of Kirk Phillips' book, who was on your show, Tatiana, just recently. And it's called The Ultimate Bitcoin Business Guide. And it's not just for businesses, it's just for anybody really who wants to be able to manage their Bitcoins, I think. I mean, I learned a ton from reading Kirk's book as I did the audiobook, and you can probably learn from it too, no matter who you are. But it's great if you do have a business that uses Bitcoin. It'll give you the scoop. It gives you everything you need in a non-condescending way, but also without giving too much extra information. It just kind of tells you exactly what you need to know to get your business working with Bitcoin. So that's going to come out soon. It's not available on Audible yet, but it will be in the next couple of weeks. So check for that. It's the Ultimate Bitcoin Business Guide. one book that I do have out is the Book of Satoshi, which is very popular with the Bitcoin crowd. That is all the writings of Satoshi Nakamoto, all of his forum posts, or her, or they, all of Satoshi's forum posts and writings that were on the internet before Satoshi disappeared from public life, and some commentary about what that means, and an intro about Bitcoin. That's by Phil Champagne, and that is out on Audible right now. It's the Book of Satoshi if you want to check it out. And I've got a bunch of other titles too. You can look for my name, Stephanie Murphy, and I do have also a pseudonym that I use for romance titles, but you can, if you really want to know about that, I don't know if I should reveal it. There's enough to check out.
Make them work for it.
Okay, I'll make them work for it.
In the spirit of BDSM. No, seriously, what are your romance titles? Okay, wait, one last question. You don't have to answer it. And it might not be the last question either, but what's the craziest romance novel subject matter that you have covered?
Oh God, shapeshifters, I would have to say. Like, there's a lot of shapeshifter romance out there. I don't know, people like it. Like guys turning into cougars and werewolves and vampires and all kinds of stuff like that. You know, there are these. I look for titles. You know, like I go on ACX, which is the back end for Audible.com, where narrators can find books to audition for, and I audition for all kinds of different books. But when I look in the romance genre, there seems to be just so many books that are all about like billionaires, right? Like everybody wants to read this billionaire romance genre. There's like a billion variations on that theme. And then there's like pregnancy romance where like somebody gets pregnant and like then they have to find a man and I don't know, or they don't know who the father is. And
that's something about what women are going through. Maybe there's a lot of women out there that are abandoned first-time mothers, you know, pregnant, big baby, no boyfriend.
Yeah, I mean, people write what they know. I mean, it's hard to believe that people know about shape-shifting cougars and werewolves, but okay.
That's true. Fine. No shape-shifting cougars or werewolves.
So yeah, the romance genre on Kindle books is quite interesting. You can like look through and maybe make some social commentary about the themes. But you know, I also hear stuff about romance books that like women get addicted. Like there's some religious groups that like Mormons and like some Christian groups that are like they have these websites about women getting addicted to romance novels and saying that this is bad. It's almost like looking at porn. It's like you're lusting in your heart.
Good. A little lust is okay.
I think so too. I wholeheartly agree. Buy my books on
Isn't it funny?
Audible.
But if they read like, if they read criminal stories, it's like, oh yeah, that's all good. You know,
right?
It's strange.
Exactly.
Yeah. One thing that I think would be really cool. You've got the writings of Satoshi. It would be really nice to have the writings of Dread Pirate Roberts because I think some of his early writings were really, really inspired, and I always enjoyed. They'd come out and you'd see them on Reddit and stuff, and I always enjoyed them. They were very well thought out.
That's a really good idea. You should do that, Stephanie. That would be awesome. I would promote the hell out of that.
Thanks.
That would be really
okay, I'll put out a public pledge out there. If somebody wants to write a book about the writings of DPR and some commentary about that and speculation about
can't you just read this straight? Can't you like?
I could read them, I could narrate them, but that would be probably kind of boring. Like, I think there really needs to be a book.
What if you read them out loud and then we discuss them? We could just try it out for one episode for fun. You know what I mean? And we could have people write in their questions or whatever.
Okay. I'm up for that.
Know. Just for shits and giggles.
You could throw an R in there every so often just to pirate it up a bit.
Yarr!
Yarr.
Have you guys ever been a pirate for Halloween?
Yes, I have been a pirate. I was a sexy pirate because that's the only pirate costumes you can find when you're a woman.
You know what? I will say this, though. I like being a sexy pirate. I feel like you could still be covered up enough so you're not freezing to death, but still be hot. And you get to say the ARG thing all the time, and that's just fun. And in general, shiver me timbers. You could poke people with your sword. That's fun and entertaining. So, yeah, I think that's a good costume.
I feel like my costume could have been better. Like, I probably could have done, like, a wench thing with, like, one of those, like, floofy blouses, you know.
Oh,
and,
you
like,
didn't even do a floofy blouse? Nothing? What the hell kind of pirate were you? Like a t-shirt?
It was like a jacket. It was like a red jacket, but, like, it was like a crop top, you know. And then it was like a short black skirt. So it wasn't that great. It was almost like a masculine pirate pirate costume that was just like cut off in the middle. So I think I could have done better with like a wench suit. I'll work on that for next Halloween.
Are we ever going to all hang out on Halloween? Maybe we should just forget this Bitcoin thing and go straight for Halloween and outfits that are Bitcoin themed.
Sounds good to me.
Let's
All
Let's go somewhere warm.
Let's talk
It's cold in
Halloween.
New Hampshire on Halloween.
All right. Well, this has been super fun.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
The
look.
magic word.
Yes.
Did we say the magic word?
We would certainly do this. Yes. And actually, I think that you should perform it for us. Would you be
Ah!
willing? Please?
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
guys.
So, I need the karaoke countdown. But anyway, we were saying that I was doing some vocal warm-ups. You know, sometimes when I'm about to do a voiceover, my voice is sounding a little rough, a little stiff. I do a vocal warm-up, and to do that, I usually do karaoke. I find a karaoke video on YouTube. So the other night, I had to do a voiceover, and I was like, okay, I need a warm-up. So I put on a karaoke version of "Listen to Your Heart" by Roxette. And
Nice.
I started belting it out, and so the magic word for this episode is listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know why. Listen to your heart.
Yeah, that whole thing is the magic word.
Goodbye.
So serious at the end.
Yes, so listen to your heart. That's the magic word.
This
Listen
is
to
a
your
super
heart.
fun show. I think this is my favorite show ever.
Yes.
So fun. Stephanie Murphy, you're so beautiful and lovely. Thank you so much for not only coming on the show, but being such an awesome friend.
Thank you,
And
Tatiana. I feel the same way about you. You fucking rock. I guess that was the first swear. Oops, it came out of my mouth. You freaking rock. You are the best. And I'm so glad to have been on your show. I'll come back if you want me to come back anytime.
Totally.
Just let me know. And yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
All right, thanks so much for coming on. Josh, any parting words for our audience members?
Look, just keep it real, keep smiling, and follow your heart. Listen to your heart.
That's right. That's right. And check out the Bitcoin 101 videos that Tatiana and I did. Share it with your Bit-curious friends, and we'll all have a good time.
Yes, excellent. Everybody touch base at TatianaMrose.com. Thank you to Liberty.me. Let's Talk Bitcoin, IPM Nation, LRN.FM, all these people that want to syndicate us. You can syndicate us too. Just write us. Come to CryptoMediaHub.com, TatianaMrose.com, Voltoro.com, smvoice.info. Good night, New York! Woo! All right. Bye.